Good day, loves. Welcome back to the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. I am Coach Tensi, and this is...
I'm Coach So.
We are Ufulu Child. Ufulu means freedom, and we are back with another episode. Today is Cleanse Day, so we are focused on things that help us detoxify the body, things that help us honor our body's natural cycles and what it needs. Always coming from the Thrive Zone, from the space of where three worlds meet: what you love, what you need, and what you're ready for or called to. Yes. So this episode is pretty different from the normal ones that we've talked about in the past. I don't know that we've really dove deeply into mouth care, gum, teeth care, but that's what we're going to talk about today with the 8 steps of holistic oral care, whole body healing. So this is really huge because I don't know if you knew, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but apparently one of the biggest things that is influencing a lot of our health is our mouth, the state of our teeth, of our gums, of our tongue, all of the things. And so this is something that more recently I have been looking into, and it's been in kind of like levels, right? So when I first was looking to care for my health in my pregnancy, I was listening to a podcast, and it was telling me how you got to really take care of your teeth because a lot of that will affect your baby, and your mouth changes and your teeth become looser in pregnancy and stuff like that. So that's like wild, but it happens. And so that got me really looking into the whole side of holistic dentists, looking up holistic dentists and biological dentistry and all of that. And I came across more recently the work of Nadine Artemis, who is phenomenal. She uh, is great. She wrote a book called Holistic Dental Care, and it's inspiring this podcast today. So one day, Nadine, it'd be cool to talk with you about the nitty gritties on the podcast. That'd be awesome. But today, we're just gonna dive in.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited. Also, stay tuned towards the end of the episode. We'll talk to you about how to get your tickets for Thrive Zone if you're here in Austin, Texas, or here in Texas in general and want to be in Austin for our Thrive Zone event. It definitely will be worth it. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't really know these steps. I haven't heard Nadine's methods yet, so I'm excited to hop into it. I will say, on a general note, that we oftentimes are conditioned to forget how interconnected our body health systems or our body's maintenance systems and sustain systems are, how intertwined, you know, like how your liver health connects to everything, how your um, pores and what like your health of opening and closing your pores at the right moments and for the right reasons is connected to everything, how your oral health is connected to everything. And so when it comes to properly taking care of your oral health, as a part of your daily routine, that isn't just about keeping your breath fresh or your teeth white. It's about your whole body and your spirit as well. So it's very interconnected with everything that you got going on. It's not just about where the work is being done. It's about how that work that's being done in this place affects the whole mechanism.
Mm, yes. And we we talk about the Freedom Five and how part of the Freedom Five is just 5 things that we're doing on a daily basis to become consistent, to stay consistent in what it takes to get the results in our holistic health, in our truth seeking journeys, in our journeys to freedom in all aspects of life, right? Um, this is something that allows us to really bridge that connection because I did not know. If I had known that how I was treating or mistreating my gums and teeth growing up would affect it, like it had an influence on my allergies, it had an influence on the eczema I was experiencing, on my gut issues, on even having low iron and anemia. Like there's what, and if I had known it was all connected to even reproductive health and all of that, then I would have made different decisions growing up. But for decades of my life, I just completely neglected my my mouth, and I didn't have the self-love enough to, really pour into that aspect of my health. And it didn't really occur to me that it was an issue, big, that it couldn't just be corrected super quick, that everything stacked up from all those years, until I became pregnant and I was like, oh goodness, we've been doing great these recent years, but in comparison to all of the atrocities, dental atrocities, the cavities, the fillings, the decay, like all of this stuff happening underneath the surface in my mouth, years and years compounded, it was affecting everything else in my health, and I didn't even know it. So hopefully that's not the case for you. And if it is, it's okay, because some of these tips that we're going to dive into are going to allow for you and us to have a deeper understanding on how to actually care for our mouths in a way that when we do go to a dentist, we don't have to have the crazy invasive procedures done. We can heal the cavity. We can reverse the gum disease. We can really begin to um, nurture our mouths and the rest of our bodies. So, um, and again, this affects uh, our teeth are connected to the rest of our body. So one of the things in Nadine Artemis's work, she references many other people because they've talked about it, other researchers, other dentists, whether they were called holistic dentists back then or not.
Yeah, so she's building on prior knowledge.
Yes. Is explaining how the teeth and gums are mirrors to internal health. Like, for example, the upper molars in the back, those upper back teeth are related to digestion. And the incisors, I don't know where those are. I would have to look that up, y'all. But those teeth are, when you do look it up, are related to kidney health. So that is just one example. So if you're struggling with gut issues, that's these back lower molars, especially dealing with the small intestine. So check out her work, check out her book to get a deeper dive into this. But some signs that we're looking out for to know that there's like big warning flags going on in your mouth. Just like in our guts, our mouths have this collection of good and bad bacteria, viruses, even fungi, and um, they're all kind of warring against each other. The good side, we need to build up the good army of what they call a microbiome. That's what they call it. And so that they can beat out the bad bacteria. And that's specific within our mouths, right? And it affects our brain health, it affects our digestive system, our immune system, our reproductive health, based on the health of different teeth.
And as above, so below, right? The human beings and animal kingdom on the earth are the microbiome of earth. Human beings are incredibly in a weird and wonky, you could say bad state right now. And so when we do the work to keep our internal and individual microbiomes in a better place, then we can show up to our day and as a human family become a better microbiome for the earth in general.
Mhm. Absolutely. So some things, you've probably heard from your dentist that are huge warning signs, like if you have bleeding gums, any discoloration, any sensitivity, and whether it's teeth or gums or anything like that, it's something to look out for because it could be an indication something causing inflammation. Or even for me, like my lymph nodes right here are a little bit more swollen because of the years and just now kind of catching up to this. So we are going to dive straight in. So this is the 8-step system for DIY oral care that I came across. I watched the videos. I started like just binge watching all of her videos on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel called Living Libations. So you can check that out, and her website's called the same. But this 8-step system is something that you do in the uh, twice a day, daytime, evening, and literally I tried it out yesterday, day and night, and I also tried it out in the evening, the day before for the first time. And I noticed that when I would just run my tongue along my teeth and my gums, it just felt so smooth, like silky, like nothing was on it at all, even after eating meal after meal after meal during the day or drinking my tea or whatever. And I thought that was amazing because it tends to be different um, throughout the day if I'm eating all the things that I ate, right? So one disclaimer that she always says is to you gotta avoid processed foods. So if you're eating and you're following the nutrition tips from our fuel episodes, you are already good on there. Okay, you good. So let's get into the 8 steps. What's the first step, babe?
First step is a salt rinse. Make saltwater solution, 16 ounces of filtered water to 1 ounce of salt in a mason jar. Add drops of essential oils, I'm guessing, and rinse your mouth with a shot glass of the mixture. Swish, 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 and spit. Don't swallow.
Mhm. If you end up swallowing a little bit, all of this stuff is non-toxic. So you would literally be swapping out everything else that you're using with these DIY type products. And
Yeah. Well,
they're
if the swish, 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 swish gets some of the nasties into the solution so that you can spit that out, I wouldn't swallow that if I were
You are so right. Absolutely right. Yes.
you. Step two is the scraping the tongue. So just if you have a tongue scraper, if you don't, they're super cheap. But scrape your tongue, and you can also add essential oils to that practice by adding drops to the scraper itself.
Yeah. So there's some tools in her steps that I used is so she has something that's like either a tooth serum or gumdrops. And basically I went up on her website and I saw the ingredients in each and I was like, "Oh, I have that. I have that. I have that ingredient." And I made up my own my own version. But if you are new to making your own products and just kind of feeling very comfortable in doing something like that, then she has products already done for you. You can just get, and they're affordable. They're pretty phenomenal ingredients. There's nothing crazy in them whatsoever. No additives, nothing like that. So it's 100% anti-inflammatory, supporting your health. So if you have a little tongue scraper, which is like, it tends to be this metal thing with handles that you hold and you just scrape your tongue like that, you can get at a health food store. You're just going to put a drop of either the gum drops or tooth serum or whatever mixture that you've made at home. I'll call them gumdrops here. Into that, just one drop on it, and you just run it along it before you use it. And then what's next?
Next is brushing the gums. So you brush the gums, paying special attention to the gums toward the teeth and using special care over the gum line. Okay, so that means, not going only for the meatiest part of the gums, but also paying close attention to the skinny gum line that's around your teeth. Use a soft, dry brush and apply your toothpaste to your toothbrush and brush your gums.
Mm-hmm. So to be clear, she's not using any of the toothpaste that you would find at a store.
She's not using Colgate.
She's not using Crest. In fact, she said throw them all out.
Wow, that's a throwback.
They don't have that anymore?
I think they do. It's
been a long time.
Been a long time since I heard Crest. I mean, Aquafresh and there's all of those, but Crest, I was like, woo.
You're not even using the Tom's toothpaste, okay? Because that has the additives too that aren't helpful. But there is one toothpaste that if you saw our other episode, we mentioned. I almost mentioned it. I couldn't pronounce it, but there's one toothpaste that I've seen that's
If you saw our other episode, you'll get no information about this.
Well, in the other episode, I said just comment down swaps or something like that, and we'll send a little guide with the DIY product swaps.
It's pretty funny.
So
you brush your gums. Obviously, next step after that is...
hold on. Before we get to the next step, one thing for clarity purposes that she stressed was you move slowly, so you're not, and you gotta move really gently, like you're handling a baby's mouth, right? So when it comes to brushing the gums, you start all the way as far up as you can, and you only brush toward the direction of your teeth in one direction only. There's no up and down. It's just down from the top, up from the bottom, and then scooping up in the back bottom, scooping down from the back top. And then, just following visual. If the visual like this helps me. So visualizing that your gums are kind of like these turtlenecks, like the neck part of a turtleneck, and they just kind of snugly hug around the teeth to keep them in place. So whenever we're brushing, we want to get all of the stuff that's in the gums out, and it comes out through the gum line closer to the teeth, or it comes in that way too. So we want to get it out. So that's why it's only in one direction, and we're being gentle because there's only your gums are just like one cell thick. So we don't want to damage those cells by being rough on them. Yeah.
And now if you're anything like me, you're already starting to get like, nah, it's too much. But you don't know if it's too much until you know if it's worth it or not. And you can't understand if it's worth it or not without trying at least once or twice. So try it out.
Habit stack. Do something else while you're doing this too. That will help.
If you can multitask, you can habit stack this, but this is very involved. If you can't multitask, do not habit stack this. You're going to skip steps, get things wrong, and then say it doesn't work when you really didn't do it, especially if you've never done it before. That said, brush the gums slowly and in one direction and all of that, what Coach Tensi just spelled out. I'm going to try it, so y'all got to try it. Okay.
It's so worth
Next
it.
step is to brush your teeth, polish your teeth, as they put it on this graphic. Brush your teeth is what everybody else calls it in the world. She's fancy with her polished your teeth wording. But anyway, use good toothpaste that doesn't have crazy chemicals in it, and you can add some essential oils on top of the toothpaste, as well as baking soda, and that's and you polish your teeth, you brush your teeth.
Specifically, she uses certain essential oils that beat down the bad bacteria and bad uh, organisms in the mouth, but they build up the good ones like tea tree oil, cinnamon bark essential oil, mints. So your spearmint, peppermint. Spearmint would be the non-hybrid version if you're strictly Sabi alkaline non-hybrid, right? Also, clove is phenomenal. It's also a prebiotic. It helps prepare your gut for the goodness to come. Cardamom is also great. And those are some that she listed in terms of essential oils. Of course, there's more. There's also nettle oil, which is phenomenal for oral care. So these drops, the oils that you can get from her, or that you can model her stuff and make your own, like I did, is a blend of these different oils and essential oils together. You just take a drop of that blend and put it onto your toothbrush along with your DIY toothpaste. And you go ahead and you just brush your teeth like normal. Of course, when it comes to brushing your teeth, slow is cool, but you don't want to be hard.
Slow. She say use an electric toothbrush. That's
You right. You right. Babe, what is going? We're on the same team. Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, so yes, she uses an electric toothbrush. That's great.
I'm
You
on
have
the
one,
bad
phenomenal.
microbiome team.
No.
No. Next step is checking the gum lines. Clean the gum lines of any remaining plaque using a rubber tip gum tool or sulca brush with essential oils.
There is, and before we get to step number 5, there's a little 2-minute tip that she added into step number 4, which is adding in a pinch of baking soda. So after you've cleaned
I said that.
your, I'm gonna add on to what
Yeah.
you said.
I'm just saying, I said the baking soda part.
Cool. So once you've cleaned your teeth, go ahead and spit that out, right? And since it has the oil in it, you might want to, you can have like a little mini trash bin just for spitting in your bathroom and dump that out into your trash or into your garden or whatever. But with the baking soda, next thing is getting the apple cider vinegar, and about a half a teaspoon. You put that in your mouth, it's going to start to foam up, kind of like how it did in the science experiment when you had the volcano and you had the baking soda in the volcano and you added the vinegar and it started to foam up. Same thing like what happens with when you put hydrogen peroxide and you gargle with that. But this doesn't hurt your tissues over time in your mouth. And it also keeps alive the good bacteria while boxing down the bad. Okay, so you need to make sure that that part is happening, right? So you're going to swish with that, and it's going to get all up in the little crevices of your mouth. Very good. So once you've swished with that, you spit that out, and then we go into step 5. Now that, if you just did that one thing alone, with the baking soda and the apple cider vinegar after you brushed, your teeth feel silky like brand new. You just came out of the dental hygienist chair, and they did all of their stuff. It feels so good throughout the day.
All of their
And it does
fluoride
not.
stuff.
Yeah, we actually don't want that because it causes dementia and all the things. It's been linked, and it's been debunked that it's actually helpful, because it's not at all. It's actually very toxic.
So step 5 would actually be swishing with apple cider vinegar and hydrogen peroxide.
No hydrogen peroxide.
No hydrogen
is involved
peroxide.
here.
Sorry, apple cider vinegar and baking soda.
Yeah. So
okay, baking soda.
If your toothpaste didn't already have it, you just get a pinch of baking soda, put it in your mouth, spread it around, maybe with your tongue or however you want to do it, and then you get a little bit, like a half teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Add that to your mouth. It's going to foam up. You swish with that. You spit that out. Then we move on to where we left off.
And you don't add too much because it'll foam up too much. Okay. So step 6, not step 5, would be checking the gum line. Step 7 is floss. Step 8 is another saltwater rinse. Use the same solution that we already talked about. And final step, step 9, is use a pick or oral irrigator to
like that
automatic water spritzer.
Like it runs water into.
We had one, but you have to dry it so thoroughly after every use. It's not worth. It's not worth it for me, unless Tensi is gonna clean. Dry it. All of the little crevices and stuff. It'll get mold inside of it. Use a irrigator of some kind with salt water, and you can add essential oils.
Well, it's not essential oils. Remember, it says
mint and myrrh serum.
It's the serum or the drops. It's the blend of all of the. Yes, there are essentials all in it. However, this is a specific blend that doesn't just have essential oils in it. It also has stuff like nettle or other oils added onto it that are not just essential oil. So if you think you're just going to put a drop of the essential oil and that's going to be the same effect, it's not. So I didn't want to mislead.
No, well then she has a whole lot of stuff in here that most households don't have. So we really should just share this this graphic with y'all so y'all can see, and have the option to just go ahead and buy her stuff, because I told y'all at the beginning of this episode that I don't know this stuff, and then Tensi's like, hey, you go through the steps. I'm like, okay. So anyway, she has a whole lot of products in 7 out of 8 of these steps. I don't know what's in them, but some of them say things like mint and myrrh. So I assumed they were essential oils, but apparently there's essential oil plus. And so I don't know what's in them.
Thank you, babe. Thank you, because you did a good job. I appreciate you. And this is something that I'll definitely share the link. So if you would like, if you would like it to this guide, where it also has linked where you can find her products.
Say, yes, please.
Got you. We can put that in the comments. I will message you the link so that you can have when we hop up off the episode.
Send us a DM.
Yes, send us a message when we hop off, and I'll make sure that I send you the link so that you can download it yourself and go through it. Yeah. So how do we make this work? Because we do know that taking care of our mouths is low-key non-negotiable. And if your goal is to really take ownership over your oral health too, and like your mouth care, that oral care, then like mine is, and you don't want to be spending for a whole like you paying for a cash car every time you go to the dentist, then doing these 8 steps is worth it. Because it's one thing to go into the dentist office and get like yes, we will post the replay. We always do. It's always on our page for all of the podcast episodes, so we will definitely do that. I got you. But because we don't want to be spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for all of these expensive procedures, that half of them we can just reverse and prevent getting to the point of having to get a tooth filled, or a tooth pulled or extracted, or even to the point of, say, the worst case scenario is they had to pull all your teeth out because your jaw rotted, and due to the perpetual imbalance of the oral microbiome, and now you got to get the dentures. Okay, so we don't want to get there. All right, we do not, because this is something to where when we're talking about the health of the tooth, these are living things. Like, it's been found that every tooth is living, it's alive, just like how our bones are alive. They have this pulp on the inside that causes the tooth to become, depending on the health of that inner pulp, that'll determine whether your teeth are yellowing or super white. It's not bleach that helps, because eventually the bleaching of the teeth will lead to your teeth becoming yellow because of all the poisons down the line, say when you're in your late years of life, seasoned like fine wine, aged like fine wine, seasoned like a cast iron pan. Well done.
You make it fit into your morning routine, is what Coach Tensi was trying to say.
Yeah. So you can listen to a podcast, listen to a meditation while you're doing this, gentle breath work, stuff like that. And you're already cleansing because you're doing this, right? So
this is a part of cleanse.
This is a part of
Anything
cleanse.
Cleaning is part of cleanse.
Anything detox.
Yep.
So you can tap into some moments for your spirit and for yourself. Say some affirmations in your head if you're called to that. Whatever makes sense to you, that's in your Thrive Zone to do, you can have it stacked with that. Something that you can listen to, something that's not super involved. Maybe you go outside on your balcony or outside just to get some sun on your skin. Boom shakalaka. That is amazing. Maybe a gentle stretch while you're doing the things, while you're gargling. I don't know. However makes sense to you, is what that's how we stretch. That's how we stretch around here. Is what works for us.
Okay.
So, call to action. Let's get
All right. Last but not least, if you are here in Texas and you want to attend Thrive Zone going on January 20th, hit the link in our bio or in the description on YouTube. There is a wealth of information, a wealth of practical knowledge, as well as a wealth of fun and engaging and uplifting and empowering activities planned for Thrive Zone. It's a 3-hour event. Doors will open January 20th at 11:55 a.m. So around noon. It's going to be held at Dawa. That's DAWA.
DAWA. Dawa
Studios, and we're going to have a concert. We're going to have
hip hop and soul concert.
A meditation and sound bath. We're going to have a True Reflection Circle community discussion presentation. We're going to have a movement session.
Freedom and Movement Body Intelligence Academy coming through.
And we're going to close it with Freedom 5 presentation.
We're also going to have a community art wall. There's a very amazing, talented visual artist, Rhea Rose, from her Phoenix Art Studio, that will also be joining us and helping to facilitate community art experience.
As well as she'll also help facilitate the kids corner. So while all of the adult activities are happening, there's a separate kids corner that will have its own semi walled off, obviously no closed doors, but semi walled off, its own space and activity itinerary. So they'll be doing their stuff while we're doing our stuff. Parents that are there that bring their children to drop their kids off at the kids corner. It's all in one room, right? So it's not two separate rooms. There's no like down the hallway. There's the kids corner. No, they're right there in the room, but it's like a walled off thing.
Mhm.
And parents that come there, will be able and free to go peek their head around or participate in the kids corner as much as they like. And we will also have our program going. So
There are also going to be two facilitators designated on site for the kids corner. Everyone involved is a working mom or a family member of a working mom, and it's just amazing to be able to pour back into us mamas and our families. You don't have to find a babysitter, and you don't have to feel any kind of way about bringing your babies with you, because this is for them and it's also for you. It's about building up the whole family, right? So bring your babies, bring your partner, bring your grandma, bring whoever, because they're just going to learn so much. They're going to get an opportunity at every moment in the event to really tap in and see for themselves what freedom looks like now, and begin to embody that. Begin to embody that at the Thrive Zone. Step into your Thrive Zone. Get into the Thrive Zone. Yeah. Tickets are available at the link in our bio if you're on Instagram, or in our description if you're on YouTube. On Facebook, it's in the, if you go to our profile, tap the About tab, and that'll be the link right in there. It's link tr.ee/Ufulu Child, spelled UFULU child. And the first button up at the top, it's a blue button that looks like the Thrive Zone flyer. Tap that, it'll take you right where you can get your tickets. And there's a sliding scale available for us mamas and the family. And there's also a VIP option, which is so crazy amazing. It also includes 30 days free of holistic coaching in a holistic community that's virtual, and it's at your own pace, and there's some live components, and it's phenomenal. So get in there, because you ain't never gonna find that price anywhere else. For the price of two, you can get two VIP tickets with the extra Shabu Bams and a surprise goodie bag and gift.
for the price
of one. Two for the price of one. 2 for 1. There you go. Boom. We in this thing. Take good care, lives. We'll see you tomorrow.